Yo YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Kari.HQ back again with another video. And today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to sustain yourself overseas and getting out of the rat race and ways to make money in a foreign country. Alright, so before we get into today's video, I'm going to ask you kindly to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and don't forget to drop a comment, okay? So why am I talking about this topic? For me, it's something very near and dear to my heart, is helping people live the life that they want to live. And so part of that for a lot of people involves moving to a foreign country, whether you're trying to get out of the rat race that we are subjected to in the United States, or you want to learn a new language, or you just want to try something different. You might find yourself moving to a country that's not the one that you were born and raised in. And in that circumstance, you still want to be able to make money and support yourself, right? Even if you're a retired person, maybe you want to supplement your retirement income or your pension. And so it's important to kind of explore different ways that you can make money and sustain your lifestyle in a foreign country. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. First, I do want to talk about some of the reasons that people in my generation are starting to want to get out of their country and go explore other countries. The political environment in a lot of countries is very crazy, very toxic. That was one of the reasons that I decided, I don't want to be in the middle of it, and get out to a country where, those things are kind of in my rear view. They still affect me, but they're not in the forefront of my mind all the time. The United States, as many of you know, is a very polarizing political environment, and it can be like that in a lot of different countries. There can be a lot of political instability and things like that. Another thing is getting out of the rat race. A lot of people in my generation work for companies and do jobs that they really don't love, jobs that don't fulfill them, and they feel like they have to put on a show to appease their bosses, right? And that's never fun. It may be doable for a few years, but I think a lot of people are finding out that it leaves you with a very empty feeling on the inside to do work that you don't have any care for. And you have to kind of put on these appearances a lot of time in corporate America and corporate jobs all over the world, because they expect you to look, talk, and act a certain way that may not be true to who you really are. So today I just want to discuss that, and towards the end of the video I will give you some ways to make money once you do move overseas and take that leap of faith. All right, so for me, working in corporate America was a good and bad experience. There were times where I was happy with the work I was doing. I was happy having a big corporation next to my name, and it gives you a good feeling. But after a few years, that can wear off, and also you might not be feeling like you're getting closer to your purpose and what you really want to do in life. A lot of people will sideline their true wants and dreams to just put food on the table, and I get that. It's unfortunate to see all the inflation that's going on worldwide, but especially in the United States, it can be tough to keep up and keep the bills paid and keep the lights on. So for a lot of people, having a job is a necessity, and it's hard to find a way out of that, So you guys know what it's like. And for a lot of those reasons that I just laid out, people are looking to come here to places like Colombia, where the cost of living can be, half or a quarter of what it is in the United States. And that's a great thing, because it gives you a chance to take your money and invest that money into your future, right? And you can also, start working on some of those dreams that you've always had in the back of your head. And you also feel like a more fulfilled person. That's been my experience. You know, taking control of your life and your narrative, getting out of jobs that you don't really like, you don't really love, and not having to put on an appearance. We all know that depending on, you know, your ethnic background, you can be discriminated against, you can be passed over for promotions. A lot of different things can happen, and it's just a very uncomfortable thing to put yourself through for years and years and years. And for people in my generation, trust me, I can relate to the fact that our parents, for them, there was really only one way, which was to get a job and work for the rest of your life. But fortunately, in our generation, we have a lot more options, guys. There's a lot more ways to make money, especially with the internet and things like that, and social media. And there's still brick and mortar businesses that are still important. Technology hasn't taken away the need for a gym. It hasn't taken away the need for restaurants. It hasn't taken the need away for many different professions and jobs and businesses. So there's still those opportunities out there. And so the point of this video, I really wanted to give you guys some, you know, insights into how you can sustain yourself overseas and thrive, really. So one of the easiest ways to sustain yourself overseas, this is like an easy one, I guess. You know, it's just something that you can do if you do have a degree, especially. You can get a job at a big company or a startup and work remotely. That gives you kind of like one foot in, one foot out. You're not getting 100% away from corporate, but you're working in a place where your money goes a longer way, and you're also getting to experience a new country while still taking advantage of the maybe high pay or the wealth of your native country. For me, that would be United States of America. So we know dollars go a long way in Latin America. Doesn't matter really what country in Latin America, but your dollar can really support a good lifestyle. So that's pretty cool. And working remotely when you're not in the United States, it is pretty cool because you get all of what's going on in the country that you're at, and you still get to work and make dollars, guys. That's really important. But it's not the end all be all. You don't have to earn dollars. There are other ways. You know, you can sustain yourself making pesos. You just got to make a lot more of them. But another way that I've seen a lot of expats and people who decide to do the digital nomad thing live and support themselves is with trading. You know, with trading, you could trade stocks on the stock market. You could day trade. You could swing trade. You could do long-term trading. You can trade Forex. You know, you can trade currencies. There's a lot of different ways and means of trading, and there's a lot of different platforms where you can get set up and start trading. Another cool thing about trading is the fact that you can really teach yourself how to trade. You know, you can watch YouTube videos, you can pay for consultations with people who know more than you to get the information you need to be able to trade. So that's a pretty cool way for you to sustain yourself and support yourself overseas, guys. Don't overlook trading. It can be a little bit risky, but you have to manage that risk and do what feels right to you. And you never want to risk money that you're not willing to lose, at least to start out with. So for me, trading has opened up a lot of doors. It's allowed me to take some of the money that I'm saving by living in a foreign country like Colombia and use that to grow my wealth and support myself. You know, the idea for me was always to buy stocks and hold them long term, but there has been cases over my time living overseas where I decided to sell stock to either invest in other investments or to use it for something that I needed to pay for more short term. So doing the trading thing is awesome. Like I said, the Forex you can set that up so that it's like a job, so that you do it from 4 to 8 hours a day every day, and try to set yourself a goal of how much money you want to make while doing that. All right, so always keep trading as an option if you have the the ability to do so, right? You do need a little bit of cash to get started. So, you know, it's not something, going overseas and getting away from corporate America and the rat race is not something that you want to do in a split second. You know, you want to think it out and plan it out and allow yourself in the job that you currently have or however you're getting income to save up a little money so you have that rainy day fund and you have some funds to invest in some of these ideas that can help you make more money. All right, so that's a big one, trading. Okay, next up, we should talk about starting a business. I think a lot of people overlook the fact that you can start whatever business that you want to start in a foreign country. You know, if you want to come out and start your own restaurant, you can do that. You just have to get your visa situated. But you know, they have investment visas in a lot of these countries. And so I interviewed a lady not that long ago that came from the UK, and she started her own Jamaican restaurant here in Colombia, and it's worked out well for her. You know, she's able to support herself and have a more stable lifestyle, you know, on the terms that she wants. You know, she's not having to do her hair a certain way and go into an office every day and do that whole song and dance. You know, she's living life on her terms. So there's a lot of different businesses that you can start. Things like agencies, marketing agencies are always a good idea, especially if you can get clients from the United States and then get employees in a place like Colombia where they pay a lot less. And, you know, you can figure out a way to profit off of that. You can do call centers. People that I know have come to Colombia and have set up their own call centers, and they find clients back in the United States as well, or here in Colombia. Don't overlook, you know, what your target market could be. It could be very big, especially when we're talking online businesses, guys. So that is a great idea. You could start a gym, you know, you could start a plethora of different businesses, guys. I know people that came out here and they started tour companies doing tourism or doing motorcycle rentals. You know, there's so many different ideas. If you could dream it, you can make it happen. So that starting a business, you know, it's a risky one, you know, but it takes a lot of work. But if you get it right, you might be a lot happier than you are in your current situation, maybe, or in corporate America, or, you know, whatever it is that makes you want to get away from that, which is why you're probably watching this video. You know, starting a business is a risk, but guys, I'm telling you, at some point in life, you have to take that risk if it's truly in your heart, okay? And that's a decision and a talk that you have to have with yourself or take by yourself. You know, no one's going to push you into that, but just be aware that once you do take that leap of faith, the butt stops with you, so to speak. Like, you know, you're the one that's making the decisions and you're the one that's responsible for your life. Okay, so another big way to make money nowadays, and I think a lot of people know this, is being a social media influencer. It's kind of what I'm doing here, you know, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is. Developing, producing content and putting it out to the masses can earn you a substantial income. There's been a lot of YouTubers out there that have blown up. I'm talking 500,000 subscribers, 1 million, 2, 3 million subscribers from doing travel or expat type of content. So you could document your life or, you know, show people what it is you went through and are experiencing when you move out to a new country. And the platform is your choice. You know, TikTok has come on strong in recent years, so that's a great option. There's a big audience there. For me, YouTube is my favorite way of being a social media influencer, and I also use Instagram as well. So it can earn you a lot of money, guys. Just, you guys know this. It's been well documented that a lot of people are making money on social media. So don't overlook that as a way for you to get out of the rat race and go live in another country and live the life that's gonna make you more fulfilled, okay? So another idea for making money overseas for me would be import and export. So that would be bringing goods from your country to the country that you're moving to, or shipping goods from the country that you're moving to the country that you came from. So a good example of that is a lot of people come to Colombia and they export coffee into their native country. I've seen a lot of people do it. I've seen people import different goods, such as like cars that are not sold in certain countries, into that country and selling them at a profit. You do have to be aware of the laws and regulations to do these things, because you always want to stay compliant within the law, and you also want to get educated on the taxes. So taxes, whatever you're going to have to pay to export and import things, and there are some governing bodies for doing this. In the United States, we have the FDA, which, you know, if you're going to import a food item, you're going to have to get registered with them and make sure that all your paperwork and all your facilities are up to date and up to code, so to speak. So that's a big thing that I've seen people do in Colombia. It's a way for you to make money, you know? I mean, there's things that one part of the world doesn't have. So don't think that all big companies are controlling this market. There may be a way for you to carve out a market for yourself in whatever goods or services you want to import and export, okay? So don't knock that off the list, all right? Keep that on the list. Another thing that you can do is find a job locally, you know? Maybe you might feel better doing office work in the country that you want to be in, where you're learning Spanish and you're getting out on the weekends and exploring the new country. You know, I worked at a marketing agency here in Medellin, Colombia for a couple of years, and it was a great experience for me. It felt a lot better doing it in Medellin than it did in the United States for whatever reason. I was, you know, working with Colombians. It was just a different feel, you know. Doing corporate work in America can be very restraining. I don't know what it is, but it's just like there's this expectation. I feel like in other countries, they're a lot more open-minded and let the workers or employees kind of express themselves a little bit more and things like that. So getting a job in the local country can be a great option for a lot of people. You might have a challenge getting as much money as you would make in your home country. So, you know, if you can find a job or a company to work for that maybe has operations in the country that you're at, but also has operations in your home country, then maybe you could work out a deal where they pay you a portion of money in your home country currency, and they pay you a portion of money in the country that you're living in their currency. So that was a situation I had. I made half my money in dollars, and I made half of my money in pesos, and that worked out really well, you know. So don't overlook that. You know, getting a job in the country that you're moving to is always an option. It can be a hard one though, because job availability generally is not as good as it is in the United States. In some of these countries in Latin America, or, you know, I can't speak for every country. It may be a little easier in, let's say, like Thailand or something like that. I'm not too sure, but it's always an option. And lastly, the last option I want to throw out there is teaching language. I've seen a lot of people come out to foreign countries, not just Colombia, but countries all over the world, and sustain themselves by teaching the language of English, or the language where they come from that they know already, to the people of that country. I haven't heard this be talked about very much in recent years as I have in the past, probably because usually these programs, they don't pay a lot of money, but it's still an option. If you're someone that is retired and you have just a lot of time and you're still getting a little bit of money from your pension and your retirement, or your disabled veteran or something like that, teaching English can be a great option for you. You know, don't think that that's beneath you, or, you know, it doesn't pay enough or whatever. You have to look at your finances and decide what's enough for you. And remember that you're going to be spending a lot less in a place like Colombia or Thailand than you would be in the United States, so you might not need as much money. So those are just a few things that you can do to make money overseas. And definitely, guys, I can feel that a lot of people are still looking to get out of the rat race and have new experiences and try out new countries. So I just wanted to make this video to try to spark your brain, spark your interest into some things that you can do to make those dreams happen. And it's your boy, 𝐦𝐤𝐬. If you want to donate to the channel, I will drop the PayPal right here. It's better than sending supers on YouTube because they take a lot of that money from us. So yeah, if you want to drop me a donation, then feel free to on PayPal. Also, if you want to set up a consultation with me, talk one-on-one about moving out of the country or what Colombia is really like, or you want me to vet a place for you here in Colombia, anything, man, nothing's off limits in my consultations. Hit me up on Instagram and we could get set up right away. So other than that, man, like, comment, subscribe to this video, send it to somebody that's looking to get out of the country and make money in a foreign country. Continue the support. It's your boy 𝐦𝐤𝐬𝐻. I'm out.